please rise and remain standing for the arrival of the dignitaries. Veuillez vous lever et rester debout pour l'arrivée des dignitaires. Please welcome their excellencies, the Right Honourable Mary Simon, Governor-General of Canada, and Mr. Whit Fraser, le très honorable Justin Trudeau, Premier Ministre du Canada, Madame Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, the Honourable Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America, and Dr. Jill Biden. It is now my pleasure to invite Elder Claudette Commanda, Algonquin Anishinaabe from the Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe First Nation and Chancellor of the University of Ottawa for an opening prayer. J'ai maintenant le plaisir d'inviter l'aînée Claudette Commanda, Algonquin Anishinaabe de la Première Nation Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe et chancelière de l'Université d'Ottawa pour une prière d'ouverture.
Kwe kakina. Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, leaders, welcome. President Joe Biden, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, welcome. Welcome. President Biden, First Lady Biden, thank you for visiting Canada. Thank you for visiting this beautiful city, Ottawa, the city that is on the homeland of the Algonquin Nation. And we welcome you to this beautiful ancestral unceded homeland of our ancestors and our relatives and our people. I'm honored to give this blessing as we gather here today in fellowship, as we gather here today to celebrate, as we gather here today for the state dinner in honor of President Biden and First Lady Biden. Very honored. I was honored to meet you in 2016 when you were the Vice President, and I had carried that photo with me always. And I told you at that time you would be President, and you are. You are. So it is an honor to be here again, to see you. It is an honor to be here to pray with you, and it is an honor to be here to pray for all. Let us put our mind, our heart, our spirit, and our voice together as one to give thanks. Let us do that. We are in this prayer circle. No one is left behind. Everyone is included in this prayer, including those who have prepared this food, including those who will serve this food. Let us come together, brothers and sisters, with that one mind, one heart, one spirit, one voice, as we give honor to the Creator. And we say, Chi miigwej kishiminado miigwej kinakego, oh chi miigwej. Kichi miigwej kokamistipikizis, kichi miigwej mishomiskizis, kichi miigwej jojoaki, oh miigwej. Miigwej ni genwan daganag miigwej. Miigwej kokamisag, miigwej mishomsag kibijaya goma. Ni buksendam gishiminado onje nongom mashkawiziwin, minopomadzwin, ashes zagiedwin. Creator, we come together with that one heart, one spirit, one love for all, and one respect for all. We give you thanks, Creator, for all of your blessings. We give you thanks, Creator, for our Mother, the Earth, our grandmother, the Moon, our grandfather, the Sun, and all of creation, and all of people. Creator, we thank you for this food. We ask, Creator, that you bless this food, bless the hands that have prepared this food, bless the hands that will serve this food. Creator, we pray that this food will keep us safe and healthy and nourish. As our prayers nourish our spirit, nourish our hearts, food nourishes our physical. And our minds open, and our ears to listen, our minds to understand, our eyes to see, our mouth to speak nothing but good words. And we thank you, Creator. We thank you, Creator, for the greatest love in bringing us together as one, as brothers and sisters. And Creator, this prayer is also for all leaders, for the leaders need our prayer as well. Kina win. Migwej gishiminado, migwej onje, ninuin onje, kakina. Migwej kibijaye goma, nishnabeeki, kizagian. I love you all. Thank you. Enjoy. Migwej.
Thank you, Elder Commanda. Je vous remercie, Aîné Commanda. Guests may now be seated. Les invités peuvent maintenant s'asseoir. I would like to invite Alan Doyle to perform Dream of Home. J'aimerais maintenant inviter Alan Doyle à chanter Dream of Home.
One more round of applause is in order, I do believe. Wonderful greeting. Thank you very much. My name is Alan Doyle. I'm from Petty Harbour, Newfoundland. Thank you. Very nice to be here. Hello, everyone, and distinguished guests. I'm from a little fishing town in Newfoundland, in the province of Newfoundland, Labrador, called Petty Harbour. It's a very Irish-settled part of Newfoundland, where I'm from, and it's customary when there's a community supper or something, to sing a song for a toast and a welcome. So with humility and gratitude to our visitors from all over the world, especially in America here tonight, I offer this as a welcome and a toast for all of us. Well, I have wandered far too long. My weary bones are heavy spent. Now won't you lay me down to rest on a pillow fit for a journey's end, where my own father plowed the ground, and he set a table poor but proud. Oh, in the house where I was born, let my sleep be safe and warm, and in my heart so sadly sweet the dream of home, the dream of home. It touches my soul, too soft, too fleet, when far o'er the sea or land I roam. Through all my days in foreign lands, through all my dark and distant nights, pictures of you were so close at hand, and thoughts of you would fill my mind. And though my passage has been long and stayed, my first affections never fade. And though my course has been oft confused, my way has always led to you. And in my heart, so sadly sweet, the dream of home, the dream of home. It touches my soul, too soft, too fleet, when far o'er the sea or land I roam. Now when my story is all but told, sure let the final chapter tell of victories in lands of gold, and how the mighty villains fell. But if I could hope for just one thing, one final chorus I could sing, well, I'd lift a cup with all my friends and I'd cheer, we made it home again. Thank you. And in my heart, there's one more chorus. It's going to be amazing. And in my heart, so sadly sweet, the dream of home, the dream of home. It touches my soul, too soft, too fleet, when far o'er the sea or land I roam. It touches my soul, too soft, too fleet, when far o'er the sea or land I roam. Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome to our special guest.
Thank you, Alan Doyle, for your performance. Merci, Alan Doyle, pour cette performance. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce the Prime Minister of Canada, the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau. Mesdames et messieurs, j'ai le plaisir de vous présenter le Premier ministre du Canada, le très honorable Justin Trudeau.
Miigwech Claudette for that beautiful prayer. Mr. President, Joe, thanks for coming to visit, neighbor. Dr. Biden, Jill, thank you for being here as well. I know Sophie had a great time showing you around today. You know, over the years at various summits and meetings, we've had a lot of meals and a lot of working conversations. But it's truly special to host you here at home in Canada. Et mes chers amis et d'autres invités, merci d'être tous ici en grande forme pour recevoir nos amis américains. Joe, one thing that everybody has learned about you is that you're a proud Irish American. You celebrate your roots, and that's so important to do. Whether one's a Bangladeshi American or Bolivian Canadian or any heritage, this diversity makes our countries and our communities stronger, better, and more resilient. And it's good to be loud about it, too, because the diversity of our origins may not always be obvious on first glance. For instance, the Canadian Americans or American Canadians in our midst tonight. You don't always know how someone will spell the word color. Now, Joe and Jill, you may not know this, but there is a proud tradition amongst Canadians where we watch movies and television and nod knowingly to each other, saying, Americans don't know this, but we know they're Canadian. Take legendary comedy duo Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara here tonight. They've been in dozens of American movies, playing American folk singers, American parents, American dog breeders. Catherine, you've created absolutely iconic characters like, well, Kevin's mom and Moira Rose. And Eugene, at this point, people just think of you as Canadian as American Pie. I'm so glad my kids aren't here tonight so I don't have to explain that joke to them. But Catherine and Eugene, like so many of the people here tonight, wave the Canadian flag at home, in the U.S., and some from even further away. I'm particularly pleased to be here at the Canada Aviation and Space Museum to be able to honor the accomplishments of Canadians in space. As Joe pointed out this afternoon, the coming years will certainly be marking the fact that a Canadian will be heading towards the moon as part of the Artemis II mission, and I look forward to that display. But I took a look around on the way in, and I hadn't yet seen any displays for one of Canada's most famous inhabitants of galaxies far, far away, Anakin Skywalker, also known as Hayden Christensen, who's with us here tonight. And I could go on, but I think the habit of ours that we have as Canadians is really about pointing out how seamless the closeness between our two countries really is. Beaucoup de gens sont réunis ici ce soir, que ce soit du milieu des arts, de la politique, des affaires, des médias ou de la fonction publique. Vous contribuez tous à l'économie dynamique et à la riche culture qu'on a en commun. Aucun pays dans le monde entretient des liens aussi forts et aussi nombreux que nos deux pays. Both of our countries are built on a strong foundation of democracy, of opportunity, of a belief that hope and hard work will build a better future. Our two countries share the longest peaceful border on earth, as long as you don't talk about hockey, although as a Habs fan, I really appreciated your Toronto comments this afternoon. Our border is almost 9,000 kilometers in length. Okay, a little less than 6,000 miles. Because, right, we don't share the metric system, but we do share so much else. From the northern reaches of Alaska and Yukon, which share beautiful landscapes and rich indigenous cultures, to the Atlantic shores where hard-working fishers in Atlantic provinces and states source the kind of high-quality fish and seafood we're enjoying for our appetizer tonight. Joe, the last time you visited, it was a snowy night in December 2016. You saw that changes were coming. You warned us of countries turning increasingly inward. You warned that progress was at stake. You saw how crucial strong leadership among liberal democracies was to be. And as your term as Vice President was coming to a close, you talked about how the world would start looking to Canada and to Canadians to stand strong in the face of disruption. Well, I want you to know that Canadians have been working really hard. Let me tell you about the progress we've been making. We forged ahead in the fight against climate change here at home and on the international stage. We've safeguarded reproductive rights in our country, providing funding for women's health around the world. And we just recently launched a $10 a day early learning and childcare plan that has already seen women's participation in the Canadian workforce rise. We have walked the path of reconciliation. In July, the Pope came to Canada to apologize. Chief Wilton Littlechild, glad to see you here tonight, Willie, placed a feathered headdress on the pontiff in a profound gesture of forgiveness and reconciliation. We've provided a safe haven for refugees from Ukraine, Afghanistan, and Syria, and welcomed people from around the world. We've tackled inequality. We've cut the poverty rate in Canada by more than half. And we've advocated internationally for the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals that will help build a global future that is fair, equal, and peaceful. Oui, Monsieur le Président, le Canada a fait beaucoup de progrès depuis votre dernière visite. On continue nos efforts pour bâtir un meilleur avenir, pour lutter contre les changements climatiques, pour inclure tout le monde dans notre économie, dans notre succès. Mais il reste bien sûr beaucoup de travail à faire. On a bien des défis devant nous et on va rester partenaire au chapitre de la sécurité et de l'économie en restant toujours amis et alliés. Today, new threats to liberal democracy loom on the horizon, and we are united in our efforts to protect our countries and what we stand for. Canada and the U.S. are bolstering Ukraine's defense against Putin's illegal and unjustifiable invasion. We are steadfast security partners through NORAD and NATO and the Five Eyes alliances. We're standing shoulder to shoulder in defense of our values and against authoritarianism. And we are working to fight climate change and create new opportunities for people in both of our countries. We are facing the future head-on, eyes open, and with an unwavering belief that justice will always rise up and make, as one of your favorite poets, Seamus Heaney, said, hope and history rhyme. Through our work together, let us secure peace, secure opportunity, and secure a healthy future for generations to come. With that, I ask you all to raise your glasses as I offer a toast. Je lève mon verre à notre histoire, à nos espoirs, à notre prospérité et à la paix et la sécurité qui unissent le Canada et les États-Unis en tant qu'alliés, voisins et surtout de véritables amis, to shared history and shared hope, to shared prosperity, and to the shared peace and security that binds Canada and the United States together as allies, as neighbors, and most importantly, as true friends. Sláinte. Santé.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to introduce the Honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America. Mesdames et Messieurs, l'Honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr., Président des États-Unis d'Amérique.
Thank you very much. You all keep this up. I'm not going to want to go home. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Justin and Sophie, thank you for hosting us for this supper here in Ottawa. And in my speech to Parliament earlier today, I quoted a famous Canadian poem in Flanders Field. More than 100 years ago, from the battlefields of France, Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae wrote, and I quote, "To you from failing hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high." You know, from the poppy fields that we saw, and it was incredible to be there, by the way, in Flanders Field, and when on the anniversary, the 50th anniversary, that to the landing grounds in Normandy, to today when our nations still hold the torch very high for democracy, for equality, for freedom, and for our children. Together, we've always found hope and light, creating a better future for all our people. We've always gotten to that point. That's because we're more than neighbors. And I mean this from the bottom of our heart. We're more than neighbors. We're more than partners. We're more than friends. And you alluded to it today, just a moment ago, Mr. Prime Minister. We're more like family. We're more like family. We stand together as friends and as family. And for that reason, I'm optimistic about our future. Because I really am optimistic about our future. And I'm very proud of our past. And rather than take you through much longer toast here, let me conclude by saying, you know, my grandfather Finnegan used to have in a toast, he'd joke about an Irish toast, and he'd say, "May those who love us, and those who don't, may God turn their ankle so we know they're limping when they're coming." Well, I kind of wish you that toast too, but at any rate. But speaking of Seamus Heaney, Seamus' poem, The Cure at Troy, was about hope and history rhyming. He said, history teaches us not to hope on this side of the grave, but then, once in a lifetime, that longed-for tidal wave of justice rises up, and hope and history rhyme. I believe with every fiber of my being, we're at an inflection point where we can take control of that quote. I think we can make, if we have the strength and the courage and we stick together as family, we can make hope and history rhyme. So ladies and gentlemen, to all the family, U.S. and Canadian, and this is a hell of a thing to do, to toast with water. By the way, my grandfather used to say, if you toast with anything other than alcohol, you have to do it with your left hand. His name was Ambrose Finnegan. So ladies and gentlemen, to family, to Canada, and to the United States. Hear, hear. Thank you, man.
I would like to thank the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau and the Honourable Joseph R. Biden Jr. for their remarks. I now invite you all to enjoy your meal and have a good evening. Je remercie le très honorable Justin Trudeau et l'honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr. pour leurs remarques. Je vous invite maintenant à profiter du repas et de votre soirée.